Good morning, everyone. Today's Monday, December the 3rd, and this is the Futures in 5. Taking a look at the ES, we had a great big bounce. China trade, we know the administration needs a win, and so this has got to get us to a space. Everybody knew coming to the table what would be going on, and so we can see that bounce coming into play. We've got big volume profile from weeks past, somewhere around this 2778 area. So that should be the major support bounce zone if it loses 2793. So it could fill in that gap. Hard to say what traders are going to do. Got a little bit of a mixed bag of motion. My thought is they jump on the fact that it might be a Santa Claus rally and move into that space fairly nicely. We can see the buyers packing up in the support zone here. If they lose it, we will begin moving into the gap. And we've got a couple of stair steps in there, but it should stair step into at least this midline. If it fails the midline, chances are it's going to fill the gap. Not really sure that's going to happen, however, but we are looking at these edges here, and the big gap is going to give us a volume profile event. Notice this volume profile really is pretty packed in, and so they are trying to hold this front edge. The same thing we're going to see across the board. The NQ has got a little bit of a bigger bounce coming into this volume event. This area at the open is going to be important. Again, another mixed bag of motion. What should we hold? Well, you know, all the way down to that opening tick, then we have the potential of a fade if it loses that area into this region. It's all going to be about how we hold support and where the buyers come into play. It is a bullish formation. Pullbacks will be buy zones across the board at the first pass. If this begins to fade, we're going to have trouble. So you need to watch for lower highs to appear if you think longs are going to continue and suddenly they don't. That's what's going to happen. If you think that the short's going to be in play, then you need to look for a failed retest of that bounce. All right, taking a look at the YM. Also strong. I've got all my alerts going off in this area. Very big support zone from times past. And so this is the breakout. Listen, folks, this is the high. So this big recovery here is a big, big deal. It's a big deal. Now, we can clearly see that it's forming out as resistance. And so the first pass into the edge, this is a range expansion area at 26,314. And then, we've got this one step really all the way up to here. So could we get up into that space? Sure. But it's more likely that we come back into the November highs if we're going any place and stall out there. All right, that is my thought. The failed test of support could put us in a giant channel where the low is way down here and the high is way up here. That's a 2,000 point channel. That's pretty big. So far, that's what we're looking at there. That's really very, very interesting. For oil, we've got OPEC, we've got bottoming formations I've been talking about for legitimately weeks, and we've got that Alaska earthquake disrupting pipeline action in the space. So this big bounce took us into relative resistance. We can see it right there. The time price opportunity tool in Motive Wave is absolutely worth its weight in gold. Really gives us these edges of where resistance and support ought to be. And so what should we do here? Well, if we want to move up, we need to get back up over 53.38 to 53.40. If we're going to fade, we're going to lose about 52.90 to 52.70, and then we'll come back into the space. So far, this should give us a fade that pulls back into support. All right, let's take a look at gold. Gold's still a beast, still running. We know, I've been talking about this also, that gold is in an upside press. So all the deep pullbacks you see are going to be buy zones. That actually includes early this morning when it came in and then popped up into the resistance area. What are we seeing? Well, this is a pretty big resistance zone. Above that, congestion area is going to 1239, 1241. That's going to be it for that space. And then um, potentially a little bit of noisy action. But if you're trading this chart, the big thing to look at is If we get up over here, there's nothing in the way that takes us all the way to 41. So the breakout action there already holding up. My thought is into the open and the first pullback, giving us a good shot at more upside pressure. All right, that concludes the futures in 5. Good luck trading today.